Good morning and afternoon. Welcome, everyone. I'm extremely happy and excited to present to you today Oxford International's newest university partner in the UK, the University of Kent. So first of all, just a quick welcome to the team. Obviously, myself, Oxford International's launch director, new product launch director, should have my own title, sorry, and my great friend and colleague Lanny, our head of launch for marketing, and some of the other team as well that are really critical to the setup of this new partnership, and that you'll no doubt be in contact with over the coming days. Aaron Gibbons, our director of global admissions, Kyle Brooker, who is our deputy director of admissions, Zira Kamal, OIG admissions manager. So I think obviously with any new partnership, really good to know who the key people are should you need any assistance with admissions, with marketing, and indeed with launch events that are coming to your country in the very, very near future.
Think of everything you know, everything that makes you remarkable, everything that makes you you. Where do you bring it to thrive? Where do you unlock your ambition? At the University of Kent, we make our mark together in a community that celebrates individuality and equality, champions human rights, and embraces entrepreneurial spirit. It's time for the world to know that we make ambition count. The University of Kent.
So I think you're probably all very aware of the University of Kent already, but obviously in today's session, we're going to go through and talk through some of the fantastic things about this wonderful university in the UK. So first and foremost, it is now our highest ranked university partner in England. So you can see the QS World Rankings 2024, Kent was ranked 39th in the UK and top 25% of higher education institutions worldwide. Also, if you're looking at the Times higher education rankings, we're also ranked 38th in the UK. So absolutely fantastic ranking. I'll go into some of the program specific rankings as well that I think is really important when you're speaking to your students. They have world-class facilities across all of their campuses. Great research base to the university, world leading in fact, in terms of its research that is there. And they have a very positive impact on the environment. Everything they do, the buildings they make, they've won multiple awards for in terms of their sustainability, and which is such an important thing for us all to consider. So in terms of the university support systems that are in place, the university actually has one of the biggest and best students' unions in the UK. It's something that's quite often, I think, overlooked in promotion. And it's representing over 157 different nationalities. And with a large students' union, that's an additional layer of support that students will be receiving from students that are actually elected into post to then support them. But also then when you're looking at the different types of events that they do across the year, they do European Day, Holy Thanksgiving, Chinese New Year, and many, many more. So there's a great atmosphere on campus for students to enjoy. They have a great well-being group as well, and part of that international experience that I think is just really important in the build-up to their studies. Kent has also won the Times Higher Education Award for outstanding student support 2 years running. So it's really got some great accolades to its name beyond just its university ranking. So you can see, you may be aware of Fee Mack. She's a Kent alumni. She actually works for Radio 1 in the UK now. Just a great example of a success story that a student that's come through Kent. She worked within the Students' Union on they have their own radio channel that plays across the university, and has gone on to become sort of a very well-known person, certainly within the UK. But just to point out here, the university does over 600 career events each year. I mean, that really blows it out the park compared to what most universities are able to offer. And you can really see the outcomes of that in what students are going on to do, their employability after studies. 95% within work within 6 months of graduating from the University of Kent. So highly employable students coming through Kent with the support systems that are in place to help them. So to kick off with Kent's Business School, this will probably be the largest school that we will recruit to, if not for anything, just because of its accreditation. It's one of very few institutions globally to have Triple Crown accreditation. So I think it's only 5% of the world's business schools have that accolade to its name, or all three of them at the same time. So it's 31st in the UK for business and management studies, 26th in the UK for accounting and finance, and 9th in the UK for marketing. So yeah, really great business school. I'll go on to show some videos and photos of that as well, so you can get an idea of how beautiful the facilities are as well. They're very modern, award-winning. A lot of money's gone into them. You can really see that. I think it's this video here.
Really stood out when I first came into the building was how bright and airy it was. It was really great that there's so much natural light coming in. I think that's really going to be beneficial for everyone to wake them up and get them motivated.
Everything I need is under one roof, and I don't need to travel across campus.
There's a greater sense of community here, in the sense that we will have students working next to seminar leaders, lecturers, and students ranging from PhDs to MBAs.
This new MBA suite will help in various ways in my studies. Firstly, it will help me develop my leadership skills. Secondly, it's a collaborative working environment, and also it's very comfortable.
First impression of the building is that it's very light and airy and lets nature into the office spaces and into the teaching spaces.
This new building is very angular, and it has been designed perfectly, keeping in mind the woodland that surrounds the building.
It's settled in a lovely location, and it's a very pleasant place to learn.
I really like the new teaching facilities. I'm very excited to teach the students there, and I hope they're equally excited about them.
I was particularly impressed with the new lecture theatres. Their highly collaborative design, I think, is going to be very exciting to work with.
I think the current students are really going to benefit with the new facilities here, keeping in mind the new computer labs and the amount of computers that are here set up in the new building. They're going to have a good time here.
I think the thing that impressed me most was the breakout spaces. It will be really interesting to see how the students use them when they're working together, and I think being in slightly different environments to what you're used to in a university will get them thinking differently and hopefully a bit out of the box.
This is an absolute landmark for Kent Business School, and I think the new students are really going to enjoy their time next year.
If you enjoyed that, I think it's a really fantastic school, really beautiful school. Yeah, just even with the lecture rooms, the fact they've got those those sofa layouts within the auditorium and things, it's very modern, really great space, and fantastic tutors that are leading that. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the call, we have a Q&A function within this this platform, so please do utilize that if you've got any questions as we go through. Lanny will kindly be answering those either written, or when we get to the end of the session, we'll answer them so that everyone can hear if it's relevant to all attendees and helpful to them. Also, this presentation, both the recording and the slide deck, will be shared after today's presentations. That will be within our agent portal, which we'll send you a link to if you haven't utilized that already. It's a great resource. It's got all of the materials, videos, etc. that Oxford International makes saved into one place. You can find those for all of our different university partners globally. So just to go through the different campuses. So the University of Kent has multiple campuses. Oxford International will be recruiting for and running the admissions for their foundation programs. So I'll go into more detail about those, but the reason why I bring that up now is that it's the Canterbury campus that all of the foundation students study at, but obviously they'll progress on from that foundation and could go to a couple of different campuses that Kent runs in the UK. So I'll take you through each of those, benefits of them, what they look like, so you can get a feel of those great and differing locations. So first of all, the Canterbury campus, its main campus, it's very beautiful, very green. It's a nice size. It only takes sort of 15 minutes to walk across, it's got a lot going on. It's got beautiful buildings. As I mentioned earlier, it's got a fantastic 1,000 student capacity nightclub within the Students' Union. It's got a student village, multiple differing types of accommodation. One of my favorite things that it has, which we must get a photo of and put it into this deck, is it actually has a meditation garden in the center of campus as well. So after you've had your lunch, maybe you just want to go relax, have a bit of calm before going back to your classes, you can utilize that as well. It has great sports facilities. You'll see more videos, photos of it, and following videos in this presentation, but both outdoor and indoor sports facilities are really top class. They have a theatre, they have a cinema, so there's a lot going on. And so you could really, within the campus itself, you've got everything you need, but you're only a short distance away from Canterbury itself, 15 minutes walk, and then you've got all the benefits there too. And I'll go into more detail about Canterbury itself in a minute. But yeah, 300 acres of land on the main campus, so lots of space for students. So I think you agree, really, really beautiful campus. The one view probably that video doesn't show enough of is actually the one in my background. So this is actually a view from campus across Canterbury. It is absolutely stunning, and photos and videos really don't do it justice. You must come and visit it if you can. It's a great place to see. They also have the Medway campus. So for some students that are doing predominantly business, not all business students though, because the main business school is on the Canterbury campus, but a number of different programs, they can take those at the Medway campus, which is a very beautiful area, very historic buildings. It's with a sort of renovated from its industrial days. So great in terms of student experience as well. Lots of restaurants, cafes, bars, theatres, parks, and very easy to get to as well. So just a sort of varying campus. But I'll show you a quick video of that as well to give you a better look and feel. I think equally as lovely a location and the surroundings that it has, but very different to Canterbury. But great to have that diversity for students to choose from. So Kent itself, from which Canterbury is found, is England's oldest county. It has so much history to it. Castles, obviously, you're aware of Canterbury Cathedral, which is which is globally recognised, and then 350 miles of coastline. So lots for students to do. Jump on a bus and go and enjoy that at weekends or in the evening evenings after class. I think everyone's aware of the White Cliffs of Dover. It's in many film and music and book, and you can actually see from Folkestone, France, on a clear day. So really, really beautiful end of the country. It's very famous, Kent, for its breweries and its vineyards and its unique coastline. It's a really wonderful place. I actually live, myself and Lanny live very close from it, so I get to enjoy it as well. It's a great place to be. So Canterbury itself, it's a cobblestone sort of streets throughout the city. It has so much history. Obviously, Canterbury Cathedral, which is the oldest and most famous Christian structure in England. And then it's got a lot going on. So it's got festivals, it's got cafes, it's got restaurants, bars, nightclubs, independent shops. It's got a lot there for a relatively small place. And it's just 25 minutes walk from campus as well. Depending on how fast you walk, I think you can do a bit faster than that, actually. But it's very easy to get to, and it's all downhill from the campus into Canterbury as well. So Medway, I think as you can see there from the video, it's a great location. It's in quite a few films, ones that you probably recognise, like James Bond, Sherlock Holmes, Les Miserables. So it's where Rochester is where Charles Dickens grew up. So I'm sure many of you have read his books. So again, lots of history, lots of culture, and a lot going on that students can enjoy. So for those of you that like oysters, one of the best places in the UK to get oysters is at Whitstable. I always say it wrong. Lanny will correct me later on. But it's 15 minutes from Canterbury. They have an annual oyster festival. It is a great place to go and to visit. Dreamland, which is one of the oldest amusement parks in the UK, also great for students to visit. And there's just so much to do. So many different piers and beaches and things to visit. There are lots of festivals in the area as well. So you've got music festivals, film festivals. So much going on. The Royal Philharmonica Orchestra as well, and the largest fireworks display in the country in November. So that'll be coming up soon. We're looking forward to seeing that. So in terms of transportation, it's another really good one to be aware of when speaking to students. There is a free shuttle between campuses that students can utilise, but also for not just for going between campuses, but local travel, students can get up to 80% off their travel on the local buses, which obviously if you're travelling to and from Canterbury and other places, that really does add up. And there's discounts for rail tickets, taxis, and even flights that students can utilise. There's a really key sell for Canterbury. I'm not sure how well known this is known, but essentially there is a high-speed rail between Canterbury and London to St Pancras. So it actually only takes 55 minutes to get from Canterbury into London. So you get, as you can see behind me, the beautiful surroundings of Canterbury. But then equally, you can be into London in a very, very short commute, which is really handy if students are doing internships or just want to do a day out and enjoy our nation's capital. The high-speed rail is called the Javelin, which I think is pretty cool. That's a picture of the train there. So it's great for students. 55 minutes between Canterbury and London. So we have quite varied student accommodation, both in price and in amenities. So we've got self-catered accommodation, where students obviously look after themselves, cook for themselves. Almost like a sort of mini houses on campus, as it were, with kitchens and everything for them to utilise. There are also rooms that have a meal plan, that they do have a shared kitchen, so they can still make themselves food should they wish. But for £12 a day, they can access all of the different foods and restaurants on campus. The university is absolutely fantastic also of having a real diversity of food. So there's many halal food options, for example, on campus, and then other varied food types to allow for all students and to cater for them, which I think is really, really good to see. So further on accommodation, there's Wi-Fi is included in the package of accommodation. Obviously, an essential part for us every day. And there is a 24-hour security, so students can feel really at ease, at rest. It's Canterbury is an extremely safe place, and particularly up on top of the hill with the university there. But good to have, and Res Life students there. There probably will be more questions around how does my washing machine work and things like that. It's just good to have people there to be able to assist and help students, and yes, of course, keep them safe and have medical facilities there should they need them. And free sports membership, so really, really crucial. They get to use the gym and join all the different sports team at no additional charge. That's all inclusive in their tuition fees. So in terms of the sports facilities they have, it's vast. They have indoor sports, outdoor sports. They have floodlit pitches. They have acrylic tennis courts, basketball courts. They have a physiotherapy room and clinic, a rehabilitation clinic, sorry. Martial arts, boxing. There is just a wide range of things to do. So if you have any students that are really looking for that, as well as a high-ranked university experience, Kent offers both, and it's fantastic.
Definitely the thing that I like most about being at the University of Kent is just how many international students are here.
There are so many resources available at Kent to help you cope with the stress, to cope with the studies.
The lectures, they are really informative and challenging.
I love the fact that Kent has a lot of open space and a complete campus feeling.
I've enjoyed my time here so much, and I'm really glad that I decided to come to Kent.
So it's true. I mean, University of Kent has a great international standing already. So you look across its 157 or its nationalities that are represented. It's got great diversity. So that is a wonderful starting point for our partnership. Quite often we work with partners that is one of the key things they're looking for, is for further diversity of students and program. So University of Kent are great to work with. So we're starting off, as I mentioned earlier, just assisting them promote and build their foundation programs, but obviously looking to expand from that into the future. I can see a lot of different questions coming up in the Q&A that we'll cover at the end. But is that they're looking for alternative routes for students that maybe aren't quite meeting the right level to come into the university yet, but need that additional support to then go on into what is a fantastic university and further build that diversity with your help. So just a couple of testimonials here. There is a great page. We'll put a link on it into our materials so that you can also utilize it. So many different nationalities. So we didn't even move past A on the alphabet of rolling through those testimonials to put this together, because there are just such a vast range of different nationalities of students that are in there. So you see one student here from Kenya, from Qatar, from Trinidad, and that have come through the foundation and gone on into law and into in fact, I'm not sure what Andrea went into, but is that it's really great to already have that basis, and we can use these to promote to other students the fantastic experience that they've had, and please do utilize that as well. Just another great alumni, Kent Eseki. So he graduated from, I think it was computer science with a year in industry and in 2023. He was just recently awarded MBA for services to diversity for young people. So again, just a really great alumni and one to promote. So into the program details. So we actually, University of Kent has two foundations. So essentially one that is a standalone foundation and one that is an integrated. This is the standalone program. So really looking at students that are both missing the right level for English language and academic level to be able to join the first year within the University of Kent. It has 2 intakes a year, January and September. Our first intake supporting them will be for this January, so coming up really fast. So just so you're aware. We have scholarships in place, both for the foundation and progression scholarships for every year after. I'll show you a slide of that in a minute. So with the standalone foundation, obviously that'd be 2 visas to go for that process, but has a much more, as you can see, with its English language requirements much lower that enables that. It would be IELTS 5.5 or equivalent with no skill set lower than 5.0. And then if you're looking at students that, okay, yeah, they're meeting the language level in order to come into study. They have a 5.5 or above, but they just need that additional support in order to take them on into the university. We also have the ICAS integrated program with the University of Kent as well, that also has 2 intakes a year, January and September. It's the same cost and the same scholarships apply. So two differing types of students, really. The standalone being that more rounded, supporting students with both academic and English requirements in order to progress. So for the standalone foundation, you're looking at students that are the qualification is equivalent to A level, so students that are coming from like an O level GCSE level background into this foundation. Into the integrated, it's at a higher level, so students coming in there would need on average around A levels or equivalent in order to join that program. So multiple progression routes into the degrees within the university. So you can see here the largest number within students coming into the standalone foundation. Those that are highlighted in blue were considering will probably be the ones that are the top sellers for us, particularly for January, but into the future. So business and management, again, ranking at the business school, triple accreditation, etc. I think it will really fly off the shelf. Computer science with cyber security, and digital design, international business, law, business and marketing. So cybersecurity, particularly for any of my colleagues that are from a government body that has that provides sponsorship, that's one that really will resonate, and we obviously with Kent's ranking should be very beneficial to us all. And then when you're looking at the integrated program there, yes, a smaller offering, but also those programs, those progression routes are also covered in the standalone entry as well. So very happy with those. So to begin with, obviously it's just the start of our partnership with the University of Kent, but to begin with, we'll just have 2 intakes a year. So both foundations either start in January or in September, progressing through the following September into the remainder of their degree program. And just to reiterate again, the first intake we'll have with the University of Kent will be this January. So we will be coming out very fast into market on this one. So fees and scholarships. So there are scholarships available for the actual foundation itself. Please contact your Oxford International local manager to talk through with you what those may be. They do differ per country, but they are competitive and in line with our other centres in the UK. If you're already working to support us, you have a good idea of what those are already for your students. But then really happy with the progression scholarships that are in place. So you're looking at 16% off tuition for each year of study within the university thereafter. With the university fees, that ends up being around just over £3,000 a year off their tuition, which is fantastic. So admissions process, so exactly the same as with all our other university partners. You apply through Oxford International, through our website on our application form, and then we will support you for the entirety, and your applicant for the entirety of that process. So it's something that obviously I think we are industry standard. We are really above and beyond, and in terms of turnaround times, I hope you agree. If you don't, get in touch, we'll talk it through. But I think looking at our service levels that we maintain across particularly the UK is absolutely outstanding. So that is a big part of what we're bringing to Kent as part of our partnership, to ensure for you a really expedited and efficient process for our admissions to help your students. So we take students all the way through to CAS. We're utilising Enrollee again. Obviously, it's just such a fantastic program, makes everyone's life a lot easier. And then taking students on, they'll get the CAS from the University of Kent and be able to apply for the visa and come to study with us. So trialed and proven. So just an example of entry requirements here. So English language requirements on the left. The standalone international foundation program is students need to have equivalent to 5.0 across all skill levels. And for the integrated program, just marginally higher, students need to have an IELTS of 5.5 or above with no skill set below 5.5. And CELT is required for both of those in terms of proof of English proficiency. Again, something that we will develop in the future, but that's how we are starting with this partnership. The academic entry requirements, so those listed there are minimum entry requirements across to the foundations. So just to give you a few examples there, I think GCSE is probably the easiest way to show that for equivalency. But just important to note, we have a great tool within our website. You click on your country where your students are studying, and it will give you then the overview of the 2 different entry criteria for those foundations. So it's a great counselor tool for you to have. So that's just on our website, very easy to find. So in terms of marketing materials, we've got a lot of stuff coming out. So obviously, as I mentioned, this presentation, both the recording of today's session and the slide deck will be added to our agent portal. Both the Oxford International and the Kent website are being updated to reflect this partnership and the programs that are there and how students to apply for our website. The Kent brochure as well is being appropriated to include our contact details. When you hand those out at events, students know to apply through the Oxford International website website to support them. We'll have fact sheets on accommodation, fees, scholarship, obviously progression degrees that are available, more details on those progression degrees, and then things like pull-up banners, logos, artworks that you can use, photos, videos, whatever you need. And if there's something that's not in there that you need, get in touch with us. I'm sure we can make it. The university is currently going through its annual round of new materials, so those will be added staggered into Agent Portal. But if you go in there today, obviously you'll start to see those be populated in for your use. So next steps. So we are going live on admissions on Tuesday. So Tuesday the 19th, next Tuesday. So really excited about that. Everyone that's on today's call will be sent a notification when that is officially live on Tuesday. Should be for your starter business is the way that is planned. So if you send through any applications, they'll be treated as an inquiry this week and then developed into an application next week. So you have the ability to send through an inquiry on the website as it currently stands, and that's great. If you've got students that are ready to go, let's get them in there, and then we'll be able to have them first in line for Tuesday, which I imagine will be a very busy day for admissions, and I really look forward to that. We have 150 plus, so it's growing by the day, recruitment activities about to be rolled out in the next 2 months globally. So please do speak to, again, your Oxford International country manager to give you more details on what's being done where you are based or where you recruit from. So it will be thick and fast, multiple road shows, and I'm actually getting on my first flight on Monday to the first 2 countries I'm going to for recruitment events with yourselves to get involved in Nepal and Pakistan. So really excited about that and the other events that are going on globally at exactly the same time across our 90 staff that will be supporting this. So I think just before we get onto Q&A, just a quick reminder, because obviously I know with these presentations there's a lot of information, and if you're not really used to the University of Kent, if you're working in multiple university, what in a nutshell do we see as the sort of the value proposition of the University of Kent, if you will. So firstly, again, ranking. So QS ranking 39th in the UK, Times higher education ranking 38th in the UK. So great ranking, and also again, not just within its overarching university ranking, but when you start breaking that down, remembering the Triple Crown accreditation for the business school and the ranking of those different degree programs. Cost. You can go to a great high-ranked university in a beautiful end part of the UK, but at a very affordable cost, a very competitive cost, particularly after you consider those scholarships being applied. For the scholarship, both for the foundation, but then for each year of study after, so that it's consistently the consistent amount that a student be paying and low amounts of that. Location, only 55 minutes to London from Canterbury by the high-speed train that we have, and those high-speed trains, as well as buses in the local area, etc. Again, discounted buses at 80%. Absolutely great for student experience. So students not just enjoying Canterbury and the university, but a real get out and see more of the country and see more of London. And experience, again, not to underestimate how important it is to have a really strong and vibrant students' union. It is one of the best and active student unions in the UK, and that really does reflect on student experience. They will have a great time while studying there. And finally, with Oxford International, that expedited and efficient admissions support, whether it's front-end admissions, conversions, onboarding, pre-departure for students. I hope you're seeing with the students who are coming through that is of an excellent standard and proven, and that's what we're bringing into this partnership with the University of Kent, as well as, most importantly, yourselves supporting that recruitment. So I think one of the first questions I'll get to when we get to the Q&A is, can agents recruit? Can you recruit through this? Yes. If you have a contract with Oxford International, you can now recruit to the University of Kent through Oxford International to their foundation. So really crucial one. Cool. So Q&A. So I can see I've got a lot of questions, which I love in the Q&A. We've rolled through the presentation nice and quickly to allow enough time to ensure these can all be covered. So I'll just take it from the top. So yeah, that first one in terms of contract, yes, your agency contract essentially has an addendum within it and will be updated as well to support this, as well as our other recent launches. There's been quite a lot from Oxford International going out, as I'm sure you're all aware. I can see names that have definitely appeared on every one of my launch events, so thank you very much. So yes, you will, that is automatically applied to your agency contract. You can now recruit to the University of Kent. So let's have a go through. Cool. So yeah, we've got significant numbers of casts available. We're not worried about going past a target amount for Kent. We're expecting in the hundreds across each intake. So it's going to be very large. So they have got a great cast allocation in there. Nice one, Afsana. Obviously, it's a big university already with a great international presence and recruitment, so that they've already got a very large allocation of cast. Cool. Yeah, in terms of proof of living and funds, does Kent fall into living in London? I believe not, but we will be doing a counsellor guidebook, like a fact sheet that will be in our agent portal. I'll make sure Afsana that is included. Great questions, Afsana. Cool. So Canterbury does not yet have an international year one. Obviously, with any partnership that we have in the UK, we're always looking to expand that. There will be some further updates on the University of Kent in the very near future. But as of yet, no, we do not have an international year one with the University of Kent. At the moment, we are solely recruiting into their standalone foundation and integrated foundation, but watch this space. Obviously, the more we can do to support international students to any of our university partners through different means, whether that's direct, whether that's pathway, whether that's into year one, is obviously something we are very interested in pursuing. Cool. So at the moment, no, sorry for Asana with again with English language. No, WAC is not accepted currently. It has to be a CELT to come through to the two different foundations. Again, watch this space, please. That will be edited shortly. Not too sure if there is a Nigerian Student Society, but if they've got a great, if you haven't been onto the Kent website already, it's really, really good. They have a Students' Union section within there, and that would talk about all the different societies. I would, knowing the international, how international the university is compared to other universities that I've worked with, I can almost guarantee they've got a Nigerian society, and I'm sure they make up a very large part of the university football team as well. Largest group of international students, Kent. So it is really diverse. Like I know that's something that a lot of institutions will say, but Kent already has a great international outset. So whether it's not just solely South Asia or East Asia, it's got a really wide spread. I think that's varied probably quite a bit over the last few years with COVID, etc., of which is the largest one. But looking at the diversity pool, hence that we've got such a large recruitment plan for the University of Kent, is that there are so many different countries it already has a great standing in, and that we know that we can sort of get great intake from the outset. Cool. Great questions, guys. Yeah, no age limit as far as I'm aware. That is something we'll double check and put into the counsellor guide. Famous course for Kent, good one. I mean, overarching, I think their business school is absolutely fantastic. I mean, again, there's only 5 institutions globally that have Triple Crown accreditation. We are actually partnered with a couple of them. So Bradford, I think, is another. So the business school, both in terms of its ranking, but its facility, its teachers, I think you see from the video there, it is extremely good and world class. I'd probably say cybersecurity outside of that. When we can apply for January. For our January intakes, so this January is our first intake, January 24. You can start applying as of next Tuesday. If you go onto our website now, you can still fill out an inquiry form, but Tuesday is the big day. That's the day we'll actually start firing out offer letters and getting this ball rolling. So really, really excited about that. Cool. How much initial deposits? Initial deposits, we're looking to match to the same as we have across our other institutions. So you'd be looking at a varied amount depending on whether a country is considered high risk or low risk. So that will be, again, within the counsellor guide, that will go out prior to admissions going live. So you will be updated on that, but it will be very similar to what you've seen if you joined my last launch session a couple of weeks ago. It'll be around the same amount, but we haven't got official sign off on that yet, but that's our expectation and understanding from the university. Cool. Yeah, great one in terms of support and training to help with visa applications and documents. Yes. Well, firstly, tip one, do please reach out to your Oxford International regional manager for your country. If you don't know who that is, please message us where you're based. In fact, we could get it off your demographics that come through on the Zoom after this call. But if you want to message through on there where you are, we can let you know who is the regional manager that can support you with that. We also have a conversion team that will be calling through to support and help collate, explain the documents that are needed and how to complete those as part of that process too. So yeah, multiple different ways that we can address that for you and help. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, again, no capacity limit. So it's something that we're mindful of is going to be very large volume, given the ranking and standing of the university and the fact it's so popular in so many countries. So yeah, this additional route through for students to come and study with us. Yeah, we know it's going to be a lot of students, and we have the CAS and the ability to manage that. No, sorry, Karen. So for ICAS, again, for both foundations, CEL is required. So that is something that we will be sending an update out on shortly. But it's for as it currently stands within the regulations that the university abides to. No, it has to be CEL. But that yeah, watch this space. Nice one, Catan. Yeah, so the foundation is there's two versions of it. So there's the standalone that's essentially two CAS, two visas that we require. They just need to reapply for it. It's very normal, very simple process to do. But there is also the integrated foundation that would be a single CAS or ICAS, if you will, that students would come through on. So we've got best of both. It works for different countries, nationalities that are coming through. It's the standalone foundation, though, the vast majority of our students will come through because it both helps students with their English language and their academic level to get them to the right level to go into university. So, but it's great to have both that's there. Yeah, so in terms of entry requirements, we've got all of those listed out in the in our website, and students can go into you can go to there, sorry, or students to find what those different levels are. Cool. And we will also, by the way, I should mention, because I know I'm moving through these quite fast, what we do after each session is Lanny is very kindly whistling away in the background, recording out all of the questions that you've put through. I think we've about 40 so far. I've got another 20 to go. We are also going to, we write these all out into an FAQ that then we put the answers into and recirculate it to everyone on this call as well. And that's something that should be, Lanny, if I'm correct in saying, I think is housed in our agent portal as well, the FAQ. So yeah, great for you to go through, particularly if you're helping colleagues or your staff with training. It will answer all these questions, which are very good questions, but obviously standard ones that you'll definitely need to know. I think I've already answered integrated versus standalone. Yeah, so the full progression list. I'll just skip back to that now of what those progression routes are. So again, this slide deck will be shared. It will be on the agent portal. So if you're scribbling away in the background there, don't worry. Just wait 10 minutes. Lanny's going to put it into the agent portal, and she'll email all of you, everyone that's registered for today's event, which by the way is record numbers. So it's great to see. Is that so you'll have this to hand to use and to be able to share with your colleagues along with the recording should any of them missed it. Yeah, so the progression scholarships, Yagusha, is they are set as 16% for all nationalities, not nationality based, and that equates to, for undergraduate students, about £3,000 per year off their tuition. For the entry level, for like the foundation scholarships that are in place, they will generally in and around potentially match that amount. It does vary per nationality, so it's best to speak to your regional manager for where you're based. So we got, it's for South Asia, where I believe you're based, is the yeah, we've got a lot of staff there. If you don't know who to speak to, please contact me and I'll be able to put you in touch. Yes, so we do have the necessary approvals. So it's going to be great times from Saudi and Qatar. So please do speak to my colleague Ross more about that, or indeed to Ollie, our regional director for which also covers Gulf Middle East. So lots of work going in there over the next month or two. Yeah, CELT is required for English language. So credibility interviews, they vary dependent on country. So again, that will be covered within the admissions flyer that we'll circulate. We'll have full details of everything required within that process. It does vary. Cool. Yeah, so we do take the IGCSE students, but that will be into the standalone program, not the integrated. Integrated is more kind of A-level standard for entry. The standalone is more O-level, IGCSE, GCSE, etc. But again, really great platform on our website for checking entry requirements per country. Same for Bangladesh. There'll be more details about payment plans to be in place again in that counsellor guide. They should be available. I'll put the minimum entry criteria back on the screen, but again, please do jump on the website, utilize that platform. It's really in depth and a great function to use. I have it saved on my favorites. I use it multiple times per day. Maybe something that could be helpful to you too. Hey Ali, great to see you, mate. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of minimum age, as far as Lanny, you probably remember off the top of your head. I'm almost certain there is no age limit. There will be other things to consider in terms of guardian letter and all those sorts of things. So we'll put more details of that into the counsellor guidebook. But that has been discussed, and I know there is no limit, but there are certain safeguards that need to be put into place, obviously to protect students that are under 18. But that's very standard with students that studying anywhere. Yeah, sorry, CELT only. It will change. Just bear with us. Cool. Tracy, lovely to see you there. Yeah, so for again for entry requirements, but if they're not listed, I think I do have HKDSE on here for Hong Kong. But if it's not detailed enough on there and you require more, do check the website or of course reach out to our team there in Hong Kong. They'll be very happy to assist. Daniel, yes, we do. We're looking to develop all sorts of different routes into universities. Obviously, the two that you stated there are ones that will be very standard for us to have with a university partner. So watch this space. We don't have it at the moment, but yeah, there's a lot to come out very soon. So there's not a set like a regulation on the maximum distance students can live from campus, but obviously I just think we need to be realistic there of like setting students up to succeed. That if they live too far away, they're going to have problems with attendance, etc. So I think no particular regulation, but I think it's really good to try and encourage students to live near to where they're going to study, preferably. I have heard of some amazing cases of how far students travel each day for their study though. So yeah, with the interview stages, counsellor guidebook, if that's right, Monica, that we will, because it varies per country, and we've got a lot of different nationalities on today's call, so just don't want to confuse anyone where they're not required. Yeah, we can share refusal rates. It's generally speaking very good for Kent, so we don't have huge issues. I think your question though is specifically for Canada and USA. So if you want to reach out to me on that one, I also support our universities there. I'm more than happy to give you details of that. But I will say it's actually been very good for September, so we're very happy with that. Cool. Hi, Charles. Yeah, so deposit amounts, those will be officially released within the counsellor guidebook ahead of Tuesday. Obviously, that's a really key one for us to have in there and as part of the reason for admissions going live on Tuesday rather than today. Entry requirements, Bangladesh. Yep. Again, if you could refer to the website, that would be fantastic. Just for the breakdown. I thought I had a Bangladesh into this chart, but no worries. If you can't find them on the website, just reach out to me. I'm more than happy to give it to you after today's call. Yeah, so the integrated foundation, the CAS will cover 4 years of study. So the foundation, 3 further years of undergraduate study. The standalone covers the first year, and then essentially they reapply with the assistance of the university services. It's a very simple thing to do in order to receive their following CAS for the remainder of their study. That's the standalone. So two different entry points. Done deposits. There will be an installment plan. We'll give details of that out as well. Again, just finalizing the details of that. So guaranteed placement, yes, if they pass the foundation, then they are guaranteed entry into the university. Just worth bearing in mind, again, those foundations are the university's own foundations. They're already part of University of Kent from day one, but they are guaranteed progression on passing their courses, as all students would be. Yep, so we'll share out the international requirements. No, sorry, no SALT waiver for now, but that will change. So great master's programs through the University of Kent, but just not through Oxford International yet. So that, again, watch this space. Interview process for country. Okay, in terms of study gaps, again, that will go into the Counsellor Guidebook, just not to sort of confuse people on the call today. Not sure about credit transfer. I don't think that's necessarily applicable because we're not doing second year entry, but yeah, do get in contact with me on that one. I'll do some more research for you. So deadlines are yet to be set. Our expectation is they will be at the very end of November, but that again will be included for the January session. That will be included in the guidebook. You guys are firing in these questions as faster than I can answer them. Lanny, if you could do answer live done on the ones that repeat questions, that would be very helpful. You're probably already doing that, but there's just so many coming through. So I think, generally speaking, the Counsellor Guidebook is going to be of great help to you. Always, the questions are always going to be about admissions requirements, policies, etc. I completely understand that. That's why, but the Counsellor Guidebook is a really great resource, I think, for you to use. Please do check it out. Yeah, so like in terms of coming from other international foundation programs, yes, that is definitely doable. They would just need to look at the circumstances of that. That's not a problem. Okay, more on study gaps. We'll cover that within the Counsellor book. Sorry if I'm rushing past your question, but it was answered previously. It will be in the FAQ if you missed my answer to it. No, the partnership does not currently include direct to PG, so that is or indeed UG post foundation. But again, watch this space. Think for your answer about CAS. Yeah, so your agency contracts obviously with Oxford International. So at the moment, just entry through the foundation into the University of Kent. If you have a contract direct with the University of Kent, of course, you can recruit into any programs that they have. And they have a very wide range of them. We're looking to expand that, but obviously working in unison with the university to do that where and when they need it. But yeah, watch this space. Yeah, sorry, it's yeah, those English levels are set. So even if they drop down in one skill set, it still wouldn't be acceptable. They will have to retake. I am sorry. Yep, so we'll have the materials will be saved in our agent portal. Do check it out; it's really great. But and Joad will also be sending to you a link to that agent portal that have all materials in. It's just much more likely the email will get to you if we do it as a link rather than an attachment. So large documents, it'll probably just it will bounce off your email.
Sorry, I'm just going to jump in quickly with regarding marketing and the collateral on the agent portal.
Thank you.
This will be uploaded, but because obviously all of the universities and all of our brands at the moment are going through the updates for next year, the resources will be limited over the next probably couple of weeks, but they will slowly start populating.
Yeah. That's fine, Lenny. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's a painful cycle, I know, for marketing to go through, both for our university partners and within our own teams. But yeah, obviously we've still got a decent amount of time before intake, and really looking forward to those being issued. So the difference between the two foundations, so the standalone is really covering both English and academic, and students coming from that would be coming from like a O level sort of level into that program. So that's when it's standalone. When it's integrated, higher academic level, slightly higher English level, but then progressing on into the university. So less of an English language focus and academic focus within that.
I'm just going to jump in, Charlie, really quickly, because obviously I'm aware that we've got quite a lot of questions still coming through. I know we've mentioned already that there will be a counsellor guidebook, so we'll just make sure if your question isn't answered, we will be sending that out. So we will get your questions answered as soon as possible after this webinar.
Okay. Thank you, Lenny. Just throwing up the scholarship one again. Really important that everyone's aware of that. There's a couple of questions on it. Yes, we do have Qatari and Saudi students already, and looking forward to dramatically increase that. Great students that they are. Turnaround time for applications, same as you have for all our other partners. So we have a promoted, I think it's 2 business day or 48-hour business day turnaround. But the reality of it is, and we do track this through everything that we do, we're less than 24 hours on average turnaround on applications. So hopefully you're seeing that. If you're not, let us know. But I'm really, really proud of our ambitions for how expedited, but also quality process that they deliver for you and for our students.
Yeah, so interview. Did you answer questions about study gap?
Yeah, so again, it's going to go into the counsellor guidebook because it varies for different markets, and because we've got so many different nationalities on the call, I don't want to confuse countries where it's not required. So yeah, best to reference the guidebook on that one. Unless you've got a still of it in front of you now, Nelly.
No, sorry.
Yeah, well, but counsellor guidebook. I think we just don't want to cause confusion where it's not needed. Same with study gaps. Cool. Yeah, you guys are definitely firing through questions faster than we can answer them. We've still got 100 to answer, so I can see the attendance numbers dropping off. So that's absolutely fine. If you've and thanks for the thanks coming into the chat. Just having a quick look at that now. Very kind of you. Lovely to see so many familiar names. Yes, but yeah, please do get in touch if you need to drop off now. We're coming up to the hour, and we'll.
Charlie, did you mention about scholarships?
I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, sorry.
I know. No. It's an important one, and I'm happy to sing it from the rooftop because I think University of Kent have put a very competitive progression scholarship there is 16%, but that's both undergraduate and postgraduate. Obviously, for now we don't have postgraduate, but again, watch this space. But we also have then Oxford International offering scholarships for students within the foundation as well. So that it's essentially from a student and parent perspective, it ends up being a consistent amount per year that is extremely competitive, whilst studying at a top 40 UK university or top 30 UK university. Yep, you can apply from Tuesday. Really excited about that. There will be an announcement on that will go out to everyone that's on this call. Cool. We have now hit the 10 a.m. mark. So if you do, I know you got a busy day job. So if you do need to drop off, that's completely fine. I will stay on here to continue answering questions for anyone that's helpful. Quite a few repeat questions on age limit and scholarships and things. So I'm just marking these as read. Yeah, so the tuition fee after the foundation year is marginally higher, which is one of the key reasons. Obviously, we're really happy to see that progression scholarship come into place. It ends up being it's probably easier if you go to the website to see, but with that scholarship that's in place, it brings it down below what the set level is for the foundation that you can see there on the screen. And that again, that scholarship applies to all students, so they won't be paying more than what you can see there for the foundation for each year of study after. It does vary per program a bit. But it's also then we have the scholarship for foundation too, so they'll be paying less than what you're seeing on the screen for the foundation as well. We'll do a finance overview as part of the counsellor guidebook. It's usually a really helpful chart. No, we don't have international year one yet, but it's something that we're really we're hoping to get back to you soon on. Yeah, covered that one, scholarships. Yeah, so with any partner that we work with, we look to broaden out the programs that we deliver, support to students to go to. So obviously it's not all of the university's own undergraduate courses. You can see there within the progression overview. The University of Kent has more university courses that are available other than those. Obviously, we need to ensure that students are getting the right support in those areas to progress successfully onto their chosen degree program. But yes, that will probably expand over the coming intakes. It's a wide range of different nationality students. It's you walk across campus, you do not see one like predominant nationality or hear one predominant nationality across campus. It's very diverse. I think you can see it in the videos that the best way to see it though is to come and visit. But it's really is very diverse campus. Got done progression scholarships. Yeah, so again, with students that have taken an equivalent qualification elsewhere, we would just need to know why they want to come through another foundation. There's usually, reasoning for it, like dropped out part of the way through, family circumstance, etc. We just need that detail from you, which is why it's really great having counsellors support these students when necessary. So do get in touch with us on that one if you've got a specific case that you want to talk about. Yeah, there will be specific requirements, not just for across different parts of India, like other countries as well. But again, that's covered off within our student guide. Deposit rate will be in the student guide. Sorry, counsellor guide. Yeah, job opportunities both on campus and in the great question, Farah, good to see you, mate. It's job opportunities both on campus, multiple ones, because you think of all the different restaurants, they've got all these food vans and things around campus as well, the gym, sports facilities, student support, and then obviously in Canterbury itself. So sorry, yeah, really good one. I should have mentioned that in the main presentation. Unfortunately, we've lost about 100 people since 10 o'clock. Yes, I mean, Stella, we can give you further subject, program specific rankings. I know I only focused on business today. Our materials will highlight those as well for other key areas. The main one being the university brochure, which as Lanny said, they're just in the process of updating. Would definitely have much more of that content. I'll just see if I can. Yeah, we are. This is the ones for the business school for you. But nice one, Stella. Good to see you. Yeah, if you already have as it currently stands, if you have a contract with University of Kent, of course, you can put applications through for any program within the university. Through Oxford International at the moment, it's just through to their two foundations. Again, watch this space. Good question. No, the standalone is the one where you've got a split cast. The integrated is when it's ICAS. It's for full duration. So two different options works for different nationalities as well. Study gaps will be in the counsellor guide, as will entry requirements. But veg requirements do use the yes, we are accepting Pakistani students, Nimra. I would expect I mean, like it keeps being asked, so I'm happy to say what my expectations are. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, West Africa in general, East Africa in general, Eastern Asia, and then South and Northeast Asia, Central Asia to an extent, sort of Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, is that I would say top 20 regions and markets. We will see a spattering from, given its international standing, from North America as well. But yeah, there's a lot going on to make sure we keep that diversity up, but we very much do accept Pakistan students as well. I will be there in about a week. And it's most of these are repetitions, so I'm just going to scan through the remaining 150 and just see if there's anything that's really jumping out as a new question. If I have missed your question, if I scanned over it, please do get in touch directly. And as Lanny says, we'll cover it in the FAQ as well. So in terms of documents, you don't need to mail them. It's just by email. And with the way Enrolly works, it's very simple for upload of those. If you have missed something, we'll get back in touch with you and let you know we haven't got this transcript, whatever it may be. But Enrolly, when it gets certainly to CAS level, is very good for recording documents that are necessary, letting you know what is missing, and to make sure we can expedite that process for you. Think I've covered the two different foundations quite a bit, but there's still questions on it. So please do get in touch. But actually, best thing to do is go onto the agent portal and just have a look between these two slides. They really explain like the differences between the standalone, not just the entry requirements, but like what's covered within it. There will be further details in our brochure on it when that's complete, and then the integrated. But our expectation is the standalone, purely because of entry criteria alone, will be the largest. Also, it works extremely well for our sponsor providers, where we'll be seeing significant student numbers from as well.
Also on that, this information will also be on our website shortly, for both the programs and all the progression degrees as well.
Thank you, Lenny. Cool. I think, having just scanned back through the final question, I think we've basically covered everything. But again, apologies if I've missed you. Just checking to see if there's any questions in the chat. But I think it's only people being very kind and saying thank you and jumping off. Brilliant. Okay, well, we're 10 minutes over, so I think, and very good news, that's still so many, like still hundreds of people still on. So thank you. We're extremely excited about this partnership. I hope you are too. I think University of Kent already has huge global, presence, and it's reflected in its international student numbers. We're really happy to be supporting this route through the university to help more students come to university with your help. As I said, we'll be going very fast into market on this recruitment events kicking off from Monday, in fact, actually, I think we've got some recruitment events happening this week. Is that 150 over the next 2 months in over 50 different countries. So if you want more information on those, please reach out to the Oxford International member staff in your country or to myself directly, we'd be very happy to give you more details about those and what we can do to work with you to support you to help students through to such a fantastic university. Just finally, just say thank you for Lenny for a wonderful presentation, and for all the different materials you put together. It's such a great help to our counsellors that are on this call, and for, of course, helping with today's session. So I hope you've all enjoyed it, and look forward to hopefully seeing you in your home country very soon. Okay. Thank you for your support. Okay. Have a great day.